Yo people, what is good? Welcome back to my channel. I can't believe this. Well, I can believe it. Spurs have lost the game 2-1. Wolves, I can't even remember who scored the first goal for Wolves, but pathetic performance. Pathetic performance to a man. Awful. I think we've not played well for weeks, but today was the first game in the league in a long time where we've looked devoid of ideas in the final third. Wolves, they sat in their shape. They played a 5-4-1 today. 5-4-1 today. So 3 at the back, wing backs, 2 in midfield, but it wasn't really 2 in midfield, and then 3 attackers. But it was effectively a 5-4-1. The attackers would tuck inside, create a numerical advantage in the midfield to negate our inverted fullbacks, and we just couldn't really break them down. Really poor performance to a man. Kulusevski, I know he scored today, but he was poor. Richarlison, atrocious. Couldn't keep the ball, just kept losing it. Just kept losing it every single time, losing the ball. Son, practically invisible for the last 15 minutes of the game when he moved into striker. But before that, just was poor. Nothing really came from Son. Nothing really came from our attackers today because we could not do enough to disrupt their shape. It was bad. Maddison, the worst game I've seen from Maddison in the Spurs shirt. Terrible. And I know he's come back from injury, so I'll allow it because I don't think that's a true reflection of what we've seen from James Maddison this season. But today, if I'm talking about today, he was arse. He was really bad today. And you could see how it impacted our game. It impacted our rhythm. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Emerson today, he came into the team after many weeks where he hasn't started. And I don't want to be too critical because players that come into the team after ages and ages, they don't have the same rhythm as the guys who've been playing week in, week out, so they're going to struggle. But that being said, he was abysmal today. Just dwelling on the ball. For someone who's actually played the inverted role for Spurs, he played the inverted role on the Conte, he's played the inverted role on the Ange. He looked lost today. Like, I know he's not as good as Pedro Porro, but at least basic actions in and out of possession, he was struggling today. Absolutely struggling. Wolves, when they didn't have the ball, the wingers would tuck inside, as I said, create the numerical advantage in the midfield and say, you know what, Spurs, what can you do? Break us down, break us down. We couldn't break them down. And every single time we'd lose the ball, they were there. They were there to hit us on the counter-attack. To be honest, we were lucky. Oh, sorry, apologies. We were lucky it was only 1-0 at half-time. Could have been 2-0 because Hwang had a chance early on at the start that he should have buried. Wolves were good value for 3 points today. They were the better side. They created the better chances, right? They were the more threatening side over the course of the game. And defensively, they didn't really give us much. They didn't give us much. I mean, yeah, they sat back, cool. But they're the away side. They're meant to sit back. It's about what can Spurs do to negate their setup. And we had no answers. We had no answers. These performances, they need to improve, and they need to improve fast. To a man and as a team. Basuma again, tepid in midfield. Not really giving us that bite that we associate with Basuma. Even Sarr was a bit off it today from a possession perspective. He kept the ball, but no thrust. Not enough thrust. And when you got a team that are set up in this 5-4-1 shape and they're so deep, you have to move the ball quicker. You have to try and take man out of the game with your dribbles. Nothing. Pedro Neto, shout out to him because I've been banging the drum for Pedro Neto for months. I called for Spurs to look for guys like Pedro Neto. I literally specifically mentioned Pedro Neto as an option we should sign instead of Brennan Johnson before the season started. And you saw what he did today. Fantastic. Every single time he got the ball, he gave us hell. Right? 2-man pressing, he'll get out of it. 1v1, he'll rinse our players. Rapid. His assist for the second goal as well. Not shocked. Not shocked because that's a brilliant player. Hwang caused us trouble today. João Gomez in the midfield did well.
Scored both.
Yeah. Who scored?
He scored both of them.
Who?
João Gomez.
Yeah. So he scored, yeah. João Gomez scored both goals. He was really good today. And so were Wolves. They came with a game plan. They executed their game plan. They knew our weaknesses. They didn't really press us in the first phase because they didn't need to, which is different. Teams have been pressing Spurs in the first phase and we've been getting caught. But Wolves said, you know what, now we don't need to press you in the first phase. What have you got for us? Because if you lose the ball with the way you're playing, we're going to catch you out. And I must admit, second half, I don't know if I can criticise us for being too high. But I would have liked the spacing to have been better if we're going to try and contain the team. Because I felt in the second half, any turnover was basically terminal for Spurs. We were that deep. Van de Ven was basically like 15 yards from their box. Romero was like 15 yards from their box. That's how deep we were playing in the second half. First half performance was terrible. Terrible. I think we had like 5 shots, 0 on target. Terrible, terrible performance. Attackers struggling to keep the ball. Struggling to retain possession. Struggling to cut through Wolves' midfield and defence. Midfield struggling to cut through Wolves' block. It was bad. It was bad. I have to hang my... Oh, sorry. Have to hang my hat to Gary O'Neill, man. He came with a game plan today and he executed that game plan. He bested Ange Postecoglou today because Ange had no ideas, and you could see it in the subs. The subs, I think, up until recently, the subs have been a source of joy for Spurs because they've usually come on and they've changed games. Even last week, came on and changed the game. But today, the subs, they made us worse. They made us worse. They made us worse. Werner came on the pitch, did nothing. Did absolutely nothing. Brennan Johnson did nothing. And unfortunately, that's the problem. That's the problem when you have a mediocre attack, right? Because there's no point having options off the bench if the options on the bench can't do anything when they don't have the space. Not even trying to go at these guys because it's not their fault we lost today. But bigger picture, it's an indication of what we can expect from teams in the Premier League when our A-grade players aren't on it, right? When a team comes to set up deep at our ground, the guys that we've got off the bench, the attackers, the B-string attackers, or the B-side attackers, sorry, they're not levels. There was a reason why they didn't make an impact today, because they were playing against a deep block. What the hell are these guys going to do against a deep block? What's Werner and Johnson going to do against a deep block? They can't go past players. They can't create something out of nothing like Pedro Neto. They can't do that. They need acres and acres of space to work their magic. You got to go right. Got to go right. They need acres and acres of space to work their magic. Meanwhile, Pedro Neto, put 2 players on him, put 3 players on him. He's gonna kill you. So Ange today, he got it wrong. He got it wrong. Maddison, in my opinion, should have come off earlier. He should have come off for Lo Celso. Even the subs towards the end. Højbjerg coming on, then Lo Celso coming on, but he takes off Emerson. I don't even know what shape we were playing in the end. I think it was like a 3 at the back. I don't even know. It was weird. It was weird. I couldn't really make sense of it. But we just looked devoid of ideas. And I think, annoyingly for us, a lot of players are not playing well at the moment. But I also think broadly the manager, Ange, I love Ange. I think he's done a fantastic job this season. But I do think, as of late, he's been getting it a tad wrong in some of his in-game decision-making. And we just got to hold that. We were the inferior side today. Got to hold that, man. And come back stronger next week, because Man United, they're right behind us, man. United, we've got Luton coming up. Aston Villa won today. Yeah. Got to hold it, man. But anyway, people, I'm out, man. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, whatever.